Stay in your lane so that you don't crash out. Every single one of us has a certain assignment or even multiple assignments that God has called us into that He wants us to focus on. But see, a problem arises when you don't focus on the specific lane that He has called you to be in, and you decide that you're going to go and do something that God never called you to do in the first place. And so I'm reminded of the story of King Uzziah. And if you're not familiar with that story, you can find it in 2 Chronicles chapter 26, and then you can come back to this video. But basically, King Uzziah was a very famous king for his time period. A lot of people considered him to be that guy. The Bible talks about how he prospered because the Lord was with him. And he was doing great at what the Lord called him to do in his kingship, until he decided that he was going to go into another lane that God never called him to be in the first place. And so he decided that he was going to go into the temple and burn incense when that was only a priest's job to do. So he went out of his lane, and because of that, God had to deal with him. So you may ask yourself, why am I bringing this up right now? It's because nowadays with social media, you can see snippets of somebody's success or what they're doing in life, and you can feel tempted to think that that's something that you need to go do when it's not, and God never called you to do that thing. And you'll find that when you go and try to do something that God has never ordained you to do in the first place, it always eventually crumbles. If you think about on a freeway, for example, everyone has to stay in their specific lane in order for things to operate safely and smoothly. Thank you, Holy Spirit. And so in the event that somebody veers out of their lane and goes into somebody else's lane, you'll notice that an accident happens, a crash happens. So it's the same way in our destinies. We have to just stay locked in and stay focused on the assignments that God has called us to do, and not get so caught up in the appearances of somebody appearing to be successful or actually being successful in what they're doing. They can be successful in their lane, but that doesn't mean it's what God has called you to do. So seek God. Find out what He's called you specifically to do on this earth, and be consistent with it, and you'll have success too.